Okay, so yes, I am back. Gonna get back into coming on regularly. Most likely it'll be like this time of day or late at night. You can catch the replay when I have to do late nights. Uh, wow, I've been on vacation for so long it seems like, but yeah, I've had some things going on. I've been training on this new job, and so that's been taking up a lot of time because that's a lot of studying, a lot of video watching, a lot of hands-on. But I am truly enjoying it. I have some other great news. I've told like three people. I haven't told anybody else yet. I am so anxious to share it with everybody, but it's just not the time yet. Tammy knows, Sleuth Mom and Grandma Sherry know, and you guys, shh, don't tell a soul. Um, First, I guess I want to tell you guys about my new online store. I think you're going to get a much better deal at this store than like the other ones that I was trying to do through like Spring Tea or Teespring or whatever that is, and Streamlabs, because I'm actually ordering product myself and I am shipping it directly from me to you. So I found a really great wholesale website that I can order some pretty good things. There's not much on the store yet. I'm going to take you through it. There's not much on there yet because what I've been doing is I'm ordering small quantities of different things so that I can check the quality when I get it to make sure that it's something I want to sell, because I don't want to sell you something and then you're like, this is a piece of junk. So the earbuds, I'm actually using them now. I'm going to show them to you on the website. They come in this neat little mirror case, and when you plug this case up, it shows you information. Like, let me see, that's how much the box itself is charged. And then when I put in, oh, can you guys hear me okay? Then when I put in like the earbuds, alongside of that, there is separate charging meters to show you how charged each individual earbud is. So let's do this. Take this out of here, share screen. Okay, good, good. So now I know these earbuds work. Okay, this is the sweatshirt. This is the one that I actually have. This one is gonna sell for like $35. It's very lightweight, but it will definitely keep you warm in the wintertime. There are three different designs. I have this one right here because I just thought it was so nice. And then there's this design, and there's this design. That's gonna go up on the store in a couple of weeks because I wanted to order one so that I could check the quality on it. Like I said, I don't want to sell anybody some junk or some sub quality, you know, some subpar stuff and then build a bad reputation for myself. I want to sell things that I would buy myself. Okay, so on the store, and I'll put the link in the description, you'll see these are the earbuds I was telling you about. I have dropped the price temporarily to $20. I was selling them for 30. I've dropped the price temporarily to $20. So anyone who buys a set of these earbuds between now and the end of the week, you will get that $10 automatic discount. Nothing you have to do for it. There's a $5 delivery fee, and that's it. There's pretty much a $5 delivery fee on almost anything on my website. If you order between like 1 and 10 items, I think it is, or something like that, it goes up a little if you order more items. That's just so that I can make sure I can ship it to you properly through FedEx, UPS, USPS, or whatever. And as you can see on here, like I was telling you, it has the separate little on the side to show you how charged each of the individual earbuds is. These are really nice. I've been using them a lot. They work great with my computer. They actually work better than the other Bluetooth earbuds that I had that I was using with my computer, because for some reason my old ones didn't get the range. They would constantly break up, drop connection. But with these, I hook them to my computer and I have absolutely no problems. Plus, a good thing about these is they are totally controlled by touch. You can turn them on and off. turn the volume up and down, skip to the next or previous song, pause your media, all through touching them. And the instructions come with it to tell you how many touches for each thing and which earbud to touch, because each side does a separate thing. One side turns it up, one side turns it down, one side skips, one side goes back. So that is the first item. The second item is these are really nice leaf shaped knives. They're keyring knives, and I have one on my keyring. Um, on one of my key rings. They're really convenient, lightweight. They're beautiful in their design, and I actually have used this at work, so I can vouch for this item. Actually, any item that I have up here, I can vouch for because I personally use the item first before I even put it on the store. Now these little keychain knives, let me see real quick. I have one of those on my other key ring. It's very small. I've used this at work for like opening boxes or whatever. It's very sharp and very inconspicuous. It's shaped like a key. For the most part, just at a glance, you wouldn't even know. And I think that's important because us girls need to have um, some kind of protection on us at all times. So there's that. Those are only $5 a piece, and you'll get a random color. Um, Alrighty. The next item is gonna be this boho dress. Oh my god! I actually bought this for myself, but it was the wrong size. I need a little bit larger size. So this was one of the items another of the items that I was testing out. It's really cute. The material is comfortable. It doesn't feel like it's going to keep you too hot or, anything like that. Because some of the stuff is really cute, but then it'll be in some weird fabric like polyester. Like who wants to run around in the summer wearing polyester? But this is a good breathable fabric. It feels good. It looks good, and it does indeed look like what it looks like in this picture. There's only one of those up there. It's $20, but it is worth it. I'm gonna order another one for myself, and I'll show it to you. These I got because my son has an iPhone that does not have a headphone jack, so I got a couple of these in just in case you guys need them. $5, just $5. That's all, and that's that iPhone dongle. Now these, I'm considering just giving these away with orders. I put them up here for 250, but what's the point of spending 250 on this and then $5 for a shipping fee? So what I'm probably going to do is take these off, and I'll just include them as a gift with whatever you order. These are RFID blocking sleeves for your debit and credit cards, because nowadays they got where they could stand behind you and skim your cards in your pocket, take all your money, and you don't know what happened. Well, these little sleeves block the RFID signal so that they can't do that. um, they're really neat. They come in handy. I use them myself. And so, yeah, these are going to end up being gifts. Whenever people order something, I'm going to throw one in the bag for them. Alrighty, and that's my store. I hope you guys take some time to check it out. Like I said, I will put the link in the description. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna do that right now. Because I really want to kind of get that going. I You guys know I really want to do some things with this channel, but I really don't want to ever monetize this channel. I really don't, just because of the type of subjects that we handle here. So I really want to find another ways to bring money in for this channel so that we can do some of those special things. Maybe we can have money to donate towards a reward fund for some missing kid who doesn't have one, or we can help supply water and snacks for people who are out searching for a missing person, or just something. But we'll get to that later. But yeah, I do want the channel to do some good and positive things. Also, any of you creators out there who want to uh, possibly consider making your own store and ordering from the website that I order from, just get in touch with me and I will be happy to give you the information, because this way you're actually going to be able to get more of the money for your channel than as opposed to selling through YouTube or Teespring or Streamlabs, because they're taking such a big chunk. I know on Streamlabs some of the stuff that I created would sell for like $50, but I was only get $5 out of it if somebody bought it. So that's not a whole lot of money to be able to do anything on the channel, or to buy like equipment and stuff like that, because I really want this channel to be self-supporting. I don't want to have to constantly, um, you know, ask for a super chat or a cash app or something like that, because that's just really just not my style anyway. And I've got to go over here to put this link in. We've got some cases that I want to cover here in a second. Let me take this down. We don't need to see that. I just want to make sure I get this link in here before I forget, because I am forgetful sometimes. Content, live, edit, paste. Here we go. The link is now in the description. Okay, so I saw this story and oh God, it broke my heart, but there is, it's not as bad as it sounds. Woman charged after baby found dead in Lakeland dumpster. And I know it's hard to believe that that is not as bad as it sounds, but it is truly not as bad as it sounds. So let's watch this video. So now you see why I say it's not as bad as it sounds. Apparently, the baby had a very severe brain deformity, and the, the the things that were wrong with the baby were simply not compatible to life. So it's actually kind of a sad story, because she was here illegally, and so that plays into why she did not um, have the baby at a hospital or get prenatal care or even report that the child had died. No sound. Can you hear me now? Oh, that's right. Let me reshare that, because I did. I shared it wrong. I should have shared it as a tag. So
Police say they have charged a woman in connection to a baby that was found dead in a dumpster. Lakeland police say the baby was found last week in a dumpster on South was east and had never taken. Rosella D'Anstancia Lugo confessed that she gave birth to the baby and disposed of the body. She said she didn't go to the hospital because she was in the country illegally. The Department of Homeland Security has been notified. The woman was charged with a misdemeanor.
and so the misdemeanor charge that she got was something like improper disposal of human remains or something like that. But it was a real simple charge, and as I was saying, this is a case where it's really kind of sad all the way around, because she was here legally, so she didn't really feel safe to go and even get prenatal care, you know, which is sad. We don't know her situation. We don't know what country she's from. We don't know what the situation is in her home country, whether it's war torn, it's cartels, it's whatever. But whatever it is, she felt safer here, and she was in enough fear of being sent back there that she wouldn't even go to the doctor. So, um, and I'm going to leave that conversation alone because I don't get into the politics and the immigration and deportation stuff. I just don't. People are people. I think everybody should be able to travel wherever they want to, live wherever they want to. I mean, that's just my opinion, though. Okay, next we're going to talk about Adam Montgomery. He went to court. Well, there was a court hearing, and of course, he didn't show up. He refused to come to court.
The defendant's chair sat empty inside Hillsborough Superior Court as Adam Montgomery faced pre-trial day morning. Weapons charge allegedly stealing a rifle and a shotgun back in 2019. Jury selection is set for May 31st, with the trial starting the first week of June. The state has nearly 50 people on its witness list, but prosecutors told the judge they may only call 15, including his estranged wife, Kayla Montgomery. This week, prosecutors submitted evidence which includes a police interview from Kayla alleging she was abused by Adam.
She outlines and details the extensive abuse that she suffered at the defendant's hands in direct correlation to the threat that she posed to him with respect to turning over evidence.
But Adam Montgomery's attorneys say her statements are irrelevant and request an evidentiary hearing to determine if they should be included in the trial.
They had been separated for a year. She'd actually filed for divorce prior to the grand jury. She told the grand jury she was no longer afraid of him.
The judge will take both arguments under advisement before deciding if an evidentiary hearing is necessary. And now Adam Montgomery is also facing charges in connection with the homicide of his 5-year-old daughter, Harmony. Jury selection for that trial is scheduled for November. Reporting live in Manchester, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
So, Adam Montgomery, Kayla Montgomery, and I kind of thought all along that she was in fear of him because it really did make sense to me that she would know that this child was deceased and not say something, not leave, at least leave him if he's capable of murdering his own child and getting rid of her like she's just so much trash. Then of course my thought would be, hey, he's fully capable of doing the same thing to me or any of the kids that we share. And so I've always kind of thought that she feared him. And now she's saying she no longer fears him. Well, of course not. He's locked up. She can pretty much rest assured that he's not going to get out anytime soon. So, of course, she has no reason to fear him now. So, hopefully, that means there will be a lot more that comes out from Kayla that will help to just nail those nails in his coffin, so to speak. I was really glad to hear that because I don't know, man. Adam Montgomery is something else, man. He's a whole different breed. I mean, a whole different breed. And monster is not even a strong enough word for him. Now, this one is not necessarily, I think it kind of goes with the channel and the genre that we cover. Authorities discovered 10-year-olds were forced to work at McDonald's, sometimes until 2 a.m. 10-year-olds working at a McDonald's, sometimes until 2 a.m. in the morning. And this story, let me see, I don't think this one has a video. Yeah, this one doesn't have a video, so I'm going to be reading this one to you. And it says, we'd like to believe that the U.S. places the safety and well-being of children at the top of its priority list. But time and time again, evidence seems to point to the complete opposite. In the late 1800s and the early 1900s, it was common for children to have jobs. Enslaved children worked alongside their parents in grueling, inhumane conditions and during the Industrial Revolution. Children joined adults in factories and tenement houses. As you might imagine, none of this was safe or ethical. And in 1913, a law prohibited the employment of children under the age of 14. But that doesn't mean that more than 100 years later, some instances of child labor don't slip through the cracks. One such story came to light recently when authorities learned that two 10-year-old children had been working at a McDonald's restaurant in Kentucky. Recently, a McDonald's franchise in Kentucky has come under fire for employing two 10-year-old children. The children were unpaid laborers who sometimes worked until 2 a.m. The two children would prepare and distribute food orders, clean the restaurant, work the drive-through window, and operate the register. They have been employed by Bauer Food LLC, a Louisville-based operator of 10 McDonald's restaurants. You're right, Tammy. She was still collecting benefits, and I under the circumstances, I kind of have to cut her some slack on that as well, because Adam probably made her do that in order to make it seem like that Harmony was still around, as so as not to draw attention to the situation, or someone asking, hey, where is this child? Why this child isn't in school? Blah blah blah. He probably even had listed her as homeschooled. So we don't know. Adam is more than a monster, so there's no telling what kind of control or threat that he was wielding. I mean, and I'm real sure that Kaylee probably knows of or has heard about him shooting someone in the face. So I'm cutting her some slack. I'm not giving her a pass per se, but I'm cutting her some slack simply because of the monster that Adam Montgomery is. And I know what it is to be in a relationship where you fear the person that you're with. There are things that you would do that you normally, just you yourself, wouldn't normally do, but you do it because of this other person and that invisible pressure of, what if I make him mad? What happens if I disagree with him? What happens if he feels like I'm not on his team? So I'm cutting her some slack, not giving her a pass though. All right, back to the McDonald's children. It says two children were even working the deep fryer, a task that's prohibited for employees under the age of 16. Any work the children performed was in the presence of their parents. Bauer told Insider that the two children were visiting their parent, who was a night manager at one of its restaurants. Reportedly, neither the food corporation nor franchise leadership approved the minors to be part of the restaurant team. And of course they're going to say that. Excuse me, I'm a little tired. Bauer Food told Insider that it has made sure all employees now clearly understand the company's policy regarding children visiting their parents at work. Under no circumstances should there ever be a 10-year-old child working in a fast food kitchen around hot grills, ovens, and deep fryers. Karen Garnett Civils, the Wage and Hour Division District Director in Louisville, Kentucky, noted in the Labor Department's statement. This isn't Bauer Foods' only violation of child labor laws. The problem evidently extends beyond just these two children. The Labor Department's investigation found that Bauer Foods allowed 22 teens under the age of 16 to work more than the legally permitted hours. Under federal labor laws, 14 and 15-year-olds can work up to 40 hours in a non-school week and 18 hours during a school week. They were fined $39,711 by the department. Two other McDonald's operations in the region were also fined for allowing teens to work more than the legally permitted hours. And those child labor laws, now, the only time that I've ever worked with like younger people in a fast food restaurant, I was actually working at a I muted myself. But I was saying the only time I've ever worked with younger children in a fast food setting, it's been years ago. We had twin brothers who were like 15 that worked at the McDonald's that I worked at. And our manager was on it as far as the amount of time they worked, the things that they did, making sure that they took their breaks and didn't stay longer than what they were supposed to. She was really diligent in making sure that all laws were obeyed as far as having those youngsters work there. And so younger teens having jobs can be good. 10 years old, I don't know about that now. I mean, let them have a job around the house. You know, you take out the trash and I'll pay you every week for taking out the trash or something like that. But yeah, I can see where some parent somewhere would think it was okay to bring their kids to work and let them work in the restaurant. Like, because, you know, it takes all types. So yeah, I can see that. Um, this story I have not read through, but the title really stood out to me. And this is going to be the last one we're going to do. After that, we're going to have a good news story to end the live stream, because what I want to do now, I want to start ending this on a high note instead of us leaving thinking about beaten, tortured, abused, and murdered children and adults. So after this, we're going to have a good news story to kind of just bring us up a little bit. So, twin toddlers found unconscious, locked in a hell on earth room. Would you look at these beautiful babies? I mean, they're just so chunky, you just want to bite them. Oh, you can't even look at the babies because I'm not sharing the screen. Here we go. There they are. Don't you just want to bite them? They're so cute and chunky and fat and fluffy. Just beautiful. Okay, let's see. The parents of twin 2-year-old boys and the mother's boyfriend have been arrested in Ripley, West Virginia, after police say the children were living in a house of horrors. Michael Gillenwater, Lily Gillenwater, and Brian Casto allegedly neglected the children so severely that one of the boys, one of the boys was near death when he was taken to an area hospital, and doctors are still unsure if the child will survive. Tammy says, my grandson is so happy he's turning 16 in June so he can work already. Got 2 people to hire him. I know that's right. And I love to see our teenagers working and learning responsibility and, you know, learning to navigate their way through situations outside of their home environment, you know, learning to work with other people, learning to obey rules, learning to follow precise processes and steps. And I think it's a wonderful thing to have our kids working, as long as the people who are employing them are obeying the rules that are set forth for them. All right. 3 adults reportedly lived together on different levels of an apartment building. They allegedly medicated the children for several months and only fed them ground beef and Cheerios under the door of the room they were locked in. My God. The case is reportedly among the worst law enforcement has ever seen. Let's watch this video real quick. Hey, Rob.
Good evening, folks, all across Jackson County and the greater Facebook land. We're going to take a few minutes this evening and give an update to a case that began in the late hours of yesterday evening and has been worked through the remainder of today, resulting in 3 arrests. The case involves a child neglect type situation involving 2 here in the Ripley area. Michael Water, along with a Lily Gillenwater, his wife, and Brian Casto, all of Meadowlark Lane here in Ripley, Jackson County, West Virginia. This case was brought to our attention in the late hours of yesterday evening, in which one of the 2-year-old twin boys was found unresponsive and was taken to Jackson General Hospital, where he was quickly transferred to Women's and Children's in Charleston and was later flown to Ruby Memorial in Morgantown. The 2-year-old boy was in complete renal failure and was in a very, very dire situation. A quick investigation by the medical staff found that the boy had been in extreme malnutrition, a state of malnutrition and dehydration. Once our officers began their investigation, it was discovered that the 20-year-old boys had basically been locked in a hell on earth type situation within their apartment room, where they'd been locked and neglected by the parents for as many as 6 weeks at a time. And during the course of the investigation, it's been found that the parents have self-medicated these children for long periods of time in an effort to get them to sleep so they won't have to provide parental care. The mother, Lily Gillenwater, is living in the basement of the apartment with her boyfriend, with her boyfriend, Brian Casto, while Lily's husband, Michael Gillenwater, lives in the upstairs portion of the apartment. And during the investigation, it was revealed that the 3 adults would lock with a locking type, padlock type device, or a hasp type device, these 2-year-olds in a bedroom for days at a time. And the 2-year-olds would have nothing but a diaper on. It was a very, very soiled condition type bedroom. And they fed them only pieces of ground beef and Cheerios underneath the door. The neglect had reached such a level that one of the adults had consciousness on death floor whenever the notification was made to the sheriff's office. And then they were subsequently transferred to the local hospital here. The boys need lots of prayers right now. The one boy is stable. There is still a lot of hurdles to clear medically to see whether he's going to survive. 3 individuals are being arraigned here in the magistrate court system here in Jackson County. And every time you see an incident like this, it really puts a lot of things in perspective, not only from a law enforcement standpoint, but from a parental standpoint. It's just amazing to me that animals like this still exist, where becoming a parent is a burden, and living in such a nasty environment. I think it's fair to say that, given the circumstances at hand, I think the average barnyard animal would probably provide better parental care and nurturing than what these kids were afforded through the 3 adults living in this home. Moving forward, once these individuals are arraigned, assuming they do not make bond, they will be transported to South Central Regional Jail, and we will continue to monitor the health of the one child at Rubin Memorial. We hope he survives. We hope he can pull through this, and there's a long road ahead of him. The children, including one additional female child, has been removed from the home, from the custody of the 3. And we're going to work hand in the Child Protective Services along with the courts to ensure that these types of individuals, in terms of a strong conviction and furthermore a strong punishment in the end. Thank you again for watching, and we'll keep everybody updated.
So there was that story, and that's going to be our last sad story of the day. Like, that was the details of that case, and I'm definitely going to follow up on that and keep tabs on that case, because that's just crazy. I mean, feeding the kids under the door. if you're feeding them under the door, how are you even? That means you're having contact with them to change their diapers, to bathe them, to show them any type of affection or play with them or anything. Like, oh my God, these poor kids. I don't know. And he said it. He said it perfect. Even barnyard animals provide better parenting than what these three individuals provided for these children. I mean, that's just crazy, man. Ground beef and Cheerios under a door. What do people be thinking when they do this to these kids? You know what I'm saying? And then especially like, how do you even come up with this? Especially if it's not something that you experienced as a child. Because you can't tell me that all these people who are locking kids in dog cages and stuff were locked in dog cages as kids. You can't tell me that these people who are tying kids down and all this other kind of stuff were done that when they were kids. I just don't believe it. Maybe some of them, but I'd have to say it's a small percentage. These are just evil creatures who are reproducing and then not wanting the offspring. The AFC podcast hey DJ, the AFC podcast has a saying, and one of his hashtags is babies for benefits. And so a lot of these cases I'm starting to think are just that, babies for benefits. You know, they're having these kids, they don't want them, they don't want to deal with them, they don't want to take care of them, but they want the benefits. They want the Medicaid and the food stamps and the cash every month or whatever it is they're getting, the subsidized housing and all this other stuff. Just get up and go get a job. If you don't want these kids and you don't want to treat them right, give them to me. To be totally honest with you, I'd take the kid. You can keep the food stamps and everything else. Just give me the kid. I tried for 10 years to have one, then I found out that I can't have any more kids. I would love to have a baby. If you don't want your baby, give your baby to me. Like, let me legally adopt the baby. I mean, instead of you doing them the way that they're doing, you're doing them. That's just crazy. Yeah, pure evil. There might be, you never know what you can find on the dark web. There might actually be an instruction manual for how to torture children. I would not be surprised if we found out one day that that exists. Okay, so we got two good news stories to take us out. The first, if y'all will take a look at this handsome young man here and his mom. A 12-year-old boy lost his leg but saved his family after his mom had a seizure while driving. When he was 12 years old, a heroic boy from North Carolina lost his leg in a car accident, saving his mom and baby brother. The boy's mother suffered a seizure while the family was driving to school one day, and his life was changed forever. Parker spoke with Cafe Mom about the incident, and that's where all these stories have come from today is Cafe Mom. Parker spoke with Cafe Mom about the incident with his mother, Sharonda, and his baby brother, describing the moment when his mother had a seizure and he had to take control of the vehicle. It escalated quickly. Everything happened so fast I had to think on my feet, he tells us. Parker's mother and baby brother came out of the accident fine, although Sharonda mentioned to Cafe Mom that his 1-year-old brother had to have some stitches. Parker, however, had a serious injury that resulted in having his leg amputated. Though he had a challenging recovery process after going through physical therapy and receiving a prosthetic, he now enjoys sports and other physical activities. He even travels as a national ambassador for Shriners Children's. Parker's life changed in an instant on a car ride to school one morning. Parker's mom, Sharonda, was driving him and his baby brother to school when she had a seizure and became unconscious. Parker bravely stepped in to take control of the car and jumped from the back seat onto his mother's lap, steering the vehicle away from oncoming traffic. And to think he was 12 years old and he thought to do that. Parker tells Cafe Mom that his family rides ATVs a lot, but he had no prior experience driving a car. It was so surreal, he said. His mother and brother were okay after the accident, but Parker had several injuries, including an ankle break that led to the amputation of his right leg. He was also on life support for 5 or 6 days after the accident, his mom shares. Jeez. It was difficult recovering, Parker tells Cafe Mom when asked about the recovery process and surgery. Parker's right leg was amputated in September of 2019, and he received a prosthesis from Shriners Children's Pediatric Orthotics and Prosthetic Services in February 2020. Though Parker was initially worried he'd never, quote, never feel like a normal kid again, unquote, with the help of the Pediatric Orthotic and Prosthetic Services team at Shriners Children's Greenville, he took his first steps again in May of 2020 and is back to playing sports he loves. And there he is. Parker was announced as the National Patient Ambassador in July of 2022, and his year will conclude in 2023. In that role, he has traveled all over the country to represent the care provided by Shriners Children's. He even made an appearance in the Rose Bowl parade in Pasadena, California. It's been such a great experience traveling the world, speaking to people, and meeting people. That's amazing. We got over this hurdle. The accident isn't who we are, Parker's mom, Sharonda, tells Cafe Mom. She says his cousins still play with him like usual, and if they all go and play on the trampoline, Parker plays on the trampoline too. Thanks to his determination and new prosthetic, Parker is back to playing flag football, basketball, and baseball. He has no boundaries, his mom said. That was a really good story. I'm so glad that the world has this young man and that he was aware, situationally aware enough and quick enough responses that he was able to save not only his family, but could you imagine if that had been a high-speed head-on collision with oncoming traffic? I mean, this little boy saved many lives that day. Definitely saved many lives that day. And so kudos to Parker for his bravery and his quick thinking and action, and many prayers for his success in the future. All right, last one, another good news story, and then we're going to be out of here. 13-year-old uses slingshot to save little sister from attempted kidnapping. Let's see what we got here. A 13-year-old Michigan boy is being hailed a hero after thwarting a would-be kidnapper using only a slingshot. The boy's 8-year-old sister was reportedly hunting for mushrooms in their backyard when the alleged assailant appeared in the woods. At the time, no one could have known his sinister intentions. The mysterious 17-year-old male who was hiding in the woods was arrested and will be charged as an adult. He reportedly confessed to police that he intended to do harm to the girl. The frightening scene happened fast, but bravery and quick thinking may have saved the young girl's life. Let's see what the chief is talking about.
Or on your own, you learn about something like this, but it just goes to show that there's evil out there, and it can find anybody anywhere.
And it did. When police say an 8-year-old girl in a rural area of Alpena Township, just south of the city, was hunting for mushrooms in her backyard when she felt someone grab her.
The suspect had come through the woods onto her property and came from behind her, grabbed her like you'd see in the movies, hand over the mouth, arm around the waist, and was attempting to pull her into the woods.
Grimshaw says that's when the girl's older brother, just 14 years old, saw something happening outside. He grabbed a slingshot and whatever ammunition he could find and fired 2 shots. One to the head, another to the chest of the alleged kidnapper, and his sister was able to get away.
I mean, he really is the one that that I believe saved his sister's either life or from something seriously bad happening to her. For a 14-year-old to see that and to pop into action that quickly is extraordinary, and he should be commended.
Troopers say they found the suspect, a 17-year-old boy, hiding in a gas station later that day.
I know it'll sound probably somewhat funny the way it comes out, but it's not meant to be that way. But what he did also helped us to identify who the suspect was, because obviously he had injuries from getting hit with a slingshot, and those were things that helped us evidentiary wise to identify who it was. So that was very valuable too.
Thanks.
All right. The incident unfolded in the family's backyard. An 8-year-old girl was hunting for mushrooms on May 10th, while a teenage boy was reportedly hunting her. MLive obtained a news release from the Michigan State Police that stated the teen grabbed the girl and covered her mouth. A struggle ensued, but thankfully the girl's teenage brother saw the event unfolding and sprang into action. He grabbed his slingshot and began firing at the alleged kidnapper. He struck him twice, once in the head and once in the chest. The 17-year-old was seemingly scared off by the slingshot and escaped into the woods. While the 13-year-old was defending his sister, another family member witnessed the struggle and reportedly called the police for help. Police immediately began to look for the suspect and found him at a nearby gas station with visible wounds a short time later. So we've got another hero. I wish they had named him, but since then, and I can understand why, because if they name him, then they're going to end up identifying the sister who was the victim of the crime. And a lot of states, I know Florida for sure, and some other states have laws now against publicly identifying victims of crime unless they choose to identify themselves. And so that's probably what we have going on here. However, kudos to this 13-year-old hero for saving his sister. I'm 100% sure he saved her virtue. I'm saying it that way because I don't want to be real graphic. And I'm pretty sure he saved her life, because if that 17-year-old boy was bold enough to try to snatch this girl out of her backyard and he admitted that he wanted to do harm to her, then I believe he would have been bold enough to just go ahead and take her life as well. So we have two heroes for the day. We've got Parker saving his mom and baby brother, and we have this 13-year-old saving his 8-year-old sister from a 17-year-old monster. And so, like I said, I just wanted to end us on a high note so that we're not leaving out of here all heavy. I have really enjoyed being with you guys today. I am going to come on as many days a week as I can, and it'll probably be like in this time frame after 1 p.m., between 1 and 5. If not, it'll be late night and you guys can catch the replay the next day. Thanks for joining me, PJ, Tammy, Ra. I love you guys so much. I've really missed this, and I will see you. Oh, one more thing. I'm going to get some more of these dresses. They are so comfortable. And I'm going to put them on the store as well. They're actually dresses that you can wear out in public. And there's like different designs on them. I just got this one to try it out. It's really comfortable. I wear it as like a house dress. I just wear it around the house, really. But it's really comfortable, really lightweight. I even use it for a gown sometimes. So I'm going to put some of these on the store. I don't know what the price is going to be because I don't remember what I paid for this. But again, the link to the store is in the description. Those earbuds are on sale till the end of the week. Instead of being the regular $30 price, they are $20. They're great earphones, great earbuds. You will love them. And make sure you guys check it out. Love you all. See you next time.